Dear beloved soul, some meetings are really hard to explain easily. They feel like they go beyond time, touch you deeply, and shake up your neat, organized life in a wonderful way. You should know you weren't brought into their life by accident. It's like the universe whispered that your names were written in the stars, like a special note, way before you ever met. This connection you feel, so strong and often hard to explain, sometimes even a bit painful, has a bigger reason than you can see right now. Them being in your life isn't just a coincidence. It's like a calling, a soft push from the universe. You're in their life like a steady lighthouse on a dark night, like a deep kind of healing that can't always be seen, but can definitely be felt way down inside. This person, who has their own hidden hurts, has met your light and maybe doesn't quite know what to do with something so bright and true yet. It said you were chosen to be like a mirror, a clear reflection for them, not something heavy for them to carry. You're there to remind them that love is still around, that it's real, and that it can look like someone. You bring back memories for them, memories of things that are pure, special, and have been forgotten for a long time. This soul, sometimes so mixed up, maybe even very defensive, has been feeling like their world is shaking ever since you first looked at each other. Because you don't just quietly show up in someone's life. You wake things up, and waking up, even though it's beautiful, can sometimes hurt. Maybe you haven't quite grasped it yet, but what you have inside you isn't ordinary. It's pure presence. It's deep healing. It's like a prayer standing tall, full of grace. Your job isn't to make them love you. It's just to be yourself with your truth, and that alone is already powerfully changing everything around and inside them. The powers that be are rearranging their plans without them even realizing it. They're cleaning the dusty windows of their heart so that one day they can see clearly who you are. Don't pressure yourself for answers right now, or for them to feel the same way immediately. Their process is slower, more subtle, but it's definitely happening. Because where there's true light, darkness doesn't stick around for long. And even if everything still seems confusing, trust that there's a plan. And you're part of the miracle they haven't understood yet. A sacred text says, "I knew you before I formed you in the womb. I set you apart before you were born." Jeremiah 1 verse 5. Every journey that starts in the quietness of a higher power is really a higher calling. A calling you don't hear with your ears but feel on your skin, in your body, with memories you don't know where they came from. You felt it. It wasn't just your imagination. It was like the universe itself whispered, "Pay attention," and without knowing why, you started seeing signs. Small, almost tiny, but definitely real. Too many coincidences to just be chance. This person who came into your life with quiet movements, broken up words, and eyes that said more than their mouth, didn't show up to fill a hole in your life, but to turn on memories your soul has been carrying for so long. There's something about them that pulls you inward, toward your own center. It's not about being needy. It's not about depending on them. It's a feeling of recognition, like a familiar echo. It said you know them from before, from other times, other places, and they know you too, even if they're currently fighting against it. This recognition just shows up, without warning. Sometimes it comes like an avalanche, not even with surface kindness. It shakes things up, takes apart everything you thought you knew about love. Because it's not about everyday romance. It's about destiny. And destinies often clash before they can accept each other. You're not called to be their safe place. Not yet, maybe. You're called to be the storm that wakes them up. The light that lovingly shows the truth. The hand that doesn't push but gently guides. And that, dear soul, takes huge strength. A strength that only chosen ones seem to have. And you've been chosen. Not by them, but by something bigger. By something that knew that out of so many souls, only yours would have the courage to stay whole, even while loving someone who doesn't yet know if they love back. Don't rush time. Time itself is also learning how to handle this kind of love. And while it learns, the heavens are busy working, diligently. Behind the scenes, unseen forces move what our eyes can't see. They touch their heart in quiet moments. They show them your image when they try to run away. And they whisper your name in the dreams they don't understand yet. This is the invisible, sacred job you have. To love without losing yourself. To wait without giving up on yourself. to believe without forcing anything. Because true love never shows up by demanding. Comes as a gentle unfolding. And when they finally see, when their inner walls fall down, they'll know it was a divine hand that put you in their path. Have you noticed how they might hesitate when they're near you? How their eyes might seem to lose focus, as if they're searching for words that just don't come? That's not them being indifferent, dear one. It's often confusion. Not the confusion of someone who doesn't feel, but of someone who feels so much and doesn't know where to put it all. They said their heart was truly made to love, like a big container, but maybe no one ever really taught them how to trust. And that's why they pull back. That's why they hide. That's why they seem distant even though they might want to be close. They might have grown up learning that love is a threat, that opening up means getting hurt, that people who love end up losing. But then you came along and brought a new story, a different song. Only they still don't know if they can live it. You are a presence that touches without hurting, a look that welcomes without demanding, and that gently disarms them. But before they can give in, they need to face what they hide even from themselves. That's why you're being asked for patience. Not the patience of someone just waiting around for anything, but the patience of someone who deeply knows the value of what they feel. This story isn't about quick endings. It's about deep, profound healing. You're dealing with a person who is rebuilding themselves, and the light you carry is showing cracks they never wanted to see. It hurts, but it also sets them free. And even if they haven't said it yet, they feel it. They realize that you're different, that being with you feels like home, like truth, like a possible future. They sense that by your side, they could truly rest. They could be who they are without masks, without that constant fear. But fear is still very strong. Unseen helpers are with them now. They're surrounding their mind, gently taking apart old, limiting beliefs. They're whispering courage in their ear. They're preparing the ground for a new, beautiful beginning. And in the meantime, you don't have to do anything extraordinary. Just keep being you. Because it's exactly that, your real self, that's making them question things. Let them get closer in their own time. And there will be a day, not marked on any calendar, but written in the sky, when they'll stop running away. On that day, they'll look at you with eyes that finally understand you're not a threat. You're the answer they were looking for. There's a quiet moment that only your soul truly gets. It's when love starts to show itself by you taking good care of your own self. It's at this point in the journey that you might feel a gentle nudge, as if to say, now it's about you. You don't have to break yourself to fit into their world. You don't need to make yourself smaller to make room for their insecurities. True love never, ever asks you to sacrifice your precious light. It's important you hear this with your whole heart. Your spiritual job is not to abandon yourself for them. It's to stay firmly yourself while the other person finds their own way back to their heart. You can love without losing yourself. And you can wait without dimming your own bright light. Maybe you've spent sleepless nights trying to understand their silences. Maybe you've wondered what you did wrong to make them pull away. But what you feel isn't rejection. It's often a reflection of their own inner mess. The love you offer is so whole, so complete, that it might scare them. And when someone has spent their whole life surviving with only parts of things, wholeness can seem unexpectedly dangerous. That's why today you're being asked to do something sacred. Turn back to yourself. Look tenderly at the wonderful person you are. The one who feels, who hopes, who fights, who believes. The one who, even when tired, stays whole. Take care of yourself the way you care for them in your thoughts. Feed your soul with immense kindness. Surround yourself with everything that feels good and uplifting to you. Be your own constant, loving presence. Because deep down, what you truly want from this love isn't to be saved. It's to be recognized. You want to be seen, honored, chosen, not because someone needs you, but because you're inherently worthy. And that worthiness starts now, when you decide to prioritize yourself. It's said that as you take care of yourself, they heal too, because everything is connected. Your light shines on their dark corners even from a distance, but it needs to stay brightly lit. Don't dim your light trying to be a lighthouse for others if it means you burn out. You can guide and at the same time protect yourself. This love wasn't given to you to use you up, but to reveal you. And the deepest revelation is this: you are already whole. What comes from another person is a blessing, an addition, not a necessity. You can love with your whole heart, but without giving up on yourself. You can wait without forgetting to live. And it's in this sacred, beautiful balance that miracles tend to happen. There's something in them that recognizes you even before your eyes meet. A subtle feeling. It's not a common attraction. It's as if you turn on an ancient code, a deep memory within them. Maybe you're like a mirror, one that doesn't twist things but shows them clearly. Since you showed up, they haven't known complete peace. Not because you demand it, but because just you being there brings everything to the surface. The hurt inner child they hide, the person they want to be, the traumas they'd rather forget, and most importantly, the love they never quite knew how to live. You are the reflection of the parts of them that still need to be healed. And that's unsettling, because loving you isn't always comfortable. It's deeply transformative. It said you make them really look at their shadows, their emotional bad habits, the patterns that keep them feeling trapped. You don't need to say anything. Your light itself speaks volumes for you. That's why they hesitate. Loving someone like you takes immense courage. Courage to go beneath the surface and dive deep. Courage to admit that maybe their whole life they've been running from a deeper truth. But there's something in you, a quiet strength, that doesn't let them completely escape. Your gaze, your calmness, your steadiness even when you're in pain. All of this gently breaks down walls they took years to build. You've become a mirror, not one that makes their ego feel good, but one that shows their soul completely. And they see you there, and through you see themselves too. That's why sometimes they pull away, because facing you is like facing themselves. It's admitting that true love doesn't come with guarantees, but with profound depth. And depth can be frightening to someone not used to it. But unseen guides are whispering to them, night after night, that there's nothing to fear, that you don't want to take anything away from them. You simply want to help them return home, to their heart, to their true self. And even though they still struggle against it, something inside them is already beginning to give in. Because no soul truly forgets a mirror that shows it with such unconditional love. You're not here to fix them. You're here to remind them of who they are beyond the fear. And they, even without words, have already begun to realize there is healing in your gaze. There is forgiveness in your touch. And there is undeniable truth in your presence. You are the turning point. They just haven't quite figured out how to handle it all yet. Something quiet, yet important, has begun to stir within them. You might not see it clearly on the surface. Their actions might still seem the same. But there's a tiny detail in their eyes that wasn't there before. A longer pause between words. A different way of breathing when their name is spoken. It's the beginning. The gentle beginning of an awakening. It said, the heart that was asleep has begun to listen. To hear memories they didn't consciously know they had. To hear desires they pushed down for so long. To hear the name of love whispered in your voice. This doesn't mean everything has changed overnight. Not yet. But it does mean something vital has been touched. And once truly touched, it doesn't easily go back to sleep. Have they been quieter lately? More thoughtful, perhaps? It's because they're listening to what they never dared to fully feel before. Your presence has become like a living prayer within them. A gentle hum. They might realize they miss you even before you're gone. That they feel a bit protective without wanting to control. That they want to know more about you without knowing exactly what to ask. It's all new. And new can be scary. But they are waking up. And what awakens inside the heart cannot be forgotten for long. You, with your calm light, with your way of just being without demanding, are teaching them what love without chains truly is. And that, for someone who has lived surrounded by emotional deals and conditions, is revolutionary. Don't expect big gestures immediately. Not yet. The awakening starts small, like a tiny seed breaking through the earth from deep within. But it's real. This is shown quite clearly. Every time they think of you before falling asleep, every time they dream of what they haven't yet lived, every time they smile to themselves, remembering some small detail about you, their heart is slowly reprogramming itself. You are like the code, the password, the key. And they, even though perhaps still confused, have already started to type. They don't fully know what they'll find on the other side, but they feel it's safe, that it's right, that it's connected to you. Unseen helpers continue to touch their soul with gentle care. And each touch, even though invisible, is one more assurance that you didn't pass through their life for nothing. The love you planted is growing, and it will, in time, blossom. Have you ever felt like you were going in circles with them? Like everything was about to truly begin, and then suddenly, you were back at square one? This cycle has a name. It has roots. It has a reason. It's said their fear isn't mainly of you. It's of what you and this connection stand for. Because loving you, being with you demands presence, truth, commitment. And for someone who learned to hide, to pull back, that's almost unbearable at times. So they go and come back. They get close and then disappear. They smile and then go quiet. It's the movement of someone who wants to, but feels they can't, not yet. And you, with your whole generous heart, try to understand. Try not to blame yourself. Try not to get too hurt. But there are days when it all feels very heavy. Know this with all your soul. This back and forth has nothing to do with your worth. It has everything to do with their own ghosts. They may have learned to love with fear, to expect to be left, to distrust peace. And when they meet you, all of that gets threatened because you don't offer drama. You offer genuine truth. And the truth, for a heart not used to it, can be scary. But even with all the resistance, they often return, because there's something about you that calls to them, that calms and unsettles them at the exact same time, that makes them want to run away and stay all at once. Unseen helpers are closely watching this cycle. They don't see any flaws in you. They see commitment, pure love, and incredible strength. And that's why they continue to make your heart stronger. They whisper, "You're not stuck in a meaningless loop. You're helping a heart heal in its own unique time." It's hard, I know, but every step they take, however small or shaky, is an attempt, imperfect, yes, to get closer to what they still don't know how to keep. You are their learning experience, and learning always requires patience. This doesn't mean settling for less than you truly deserve. It means understanding that some healings don't happen at the speed we want. And even in this sometimes exhausting cycle, there is movement. There is growth. There are seeds being watered. True love finds its way, even in the most confusing maze. And it's assured there will come a moment when they won't run away anymore. Because they will finally understand that the peace you offer is exactly what they were searching for all along, even while they were running. Some kinds of healing don't come from a medicine bottle. They come with someone's presence, with shared silence, with eyes that lovingly say, "I see you." Without needing a lot of words, you have been that kind of healing for them. Said, your love doesn't shout, it whispers, and yet it heals deeply, because what touches deeply isn't noise. It's quiet truth. And your truth has touched them in a way that perhaps no one ever has before. You came without promising anything big. And still, in your own way, you delivered everything important. You gave affection in small, meaningful ways. You offered comfort even on days when you seemed absent. You offered forgiveness even when it undoubtedly hurt your own heart. And that, for someone who has learned to doubt almost everything, is nothing short of a miracle. They may not have said it yet, but they feel it. They feel that there's something undeniably different about you. They feel that even in your silences, there is a strong presence. That even when you pull back to protect yourself, there is still love, and that confuses them but also deeply comforts them, because you don't demand, you don't pressure, you don't trap. You love with a sense of freedom. And the love that frees is the most healing of all, because it doesn't need to control. It just trusts. You have been like a soothing balm to wounds they've never had the courage to show anyone. You have been relief for pains they didn't even know how to name. And still, even being a healer for another, you also hurt sometimes, because loving someone who is still processing things is also like walking through your own inner deserts at times. But unseen helpers are with you, tenderly touching your soul on the nights when you cry in secret, strengthening your faith on the days when their silence hurts more than any spoken word. They remind you you weren't called to save, but to love fully and authentically. And this love, so complete, so strong, so uniquely yours, is working miracles in quiet, unseen ways. One day, They will wake up and realize that the lightness they feel has your name connected to it, that the peace that arrived so slowly had your gentle hands shaping it, that the love that healed them so deeply was yours. Because love, when it's true, can heal even from a distance. And your love, my dear soul, has already begun to do just that. There are times when the sky seems silent to our human ears, but loving forces keep speaking, always. Today, they want you to know there is a bigger, more complex plan than your mind can currently understand. And in this divine plan, nothing, absolutely nothing, is out of place. You, them, this meeting, all of it was arranged with details so fine that only a divine power could think of them. You came into their life as an answer to prayers they didn't even consciously know they had made. And they, even without fully understanding, felt it. They felt there was something in you that couldn't be easily explained, only deeply experienced. It said, a higher power's timing is never late. It prepares. And that is exactly what is happening right now, in this very moment. While you wait, something important is being lined up. While you ask yourself why, the heavens are gently saying, trust. Because pieces are moving, hearts are being subtly shaped, paths are slowly but surely opening. You are not alone in this heavy feeling, in this waiting. A guiding force is arranging every step of this story with invisible yet firm hands. This force knows what you carry in your heart. It knows about the nights when everything feels far too heavy. It knows about the faith you bravely hold even without solid guarantees. And that's precisely why it is moving heaven and earth for this connection to bloom at the perfect, right time. Not in the time of human anxiety, but in the time of spiritual readiness. This person who seems distant today is being gently led. There are internal battles happening within them that you cannot see, but they are a necessary part of the foundation of what is to come. The divine doesn't make mistakes in the paths it creates. And if you were placed in this story, it's because there's a significant purpose. A sacred text says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this. Psalm 37 verse 5. This promise is not just a source of comfort. It's a solid foundation. Trust that this love, even in its current silence, is being shaped with heavenly hands. And when the time is right, everything will make perfect sense. Not all silence means absence. Sometimes it's deep fear. Fear of feeling too much. Fear of losing oneself in what finally, deeply makes sense. They want to love, but they may not fully know how. It's said there's a kind of knot in their chest, maybe formed in childhood, that was never fully untied. A knot of insecurities, of past abandonments, of words that hurt deeply. And it's with this knot that they try to approach loving you. You can feel their hesitation in the small details. In the interrupted touch, in the gaze that lingers for just half a second longer, in the almost gesture of affection that they can't quite keep up. This isn't a lack of love. It's often too much self-protection. Because for them, to love might feel incredibly risky. It's like taking off the armor that kept them feeling safe for years. Just showing themselves without any guarantees. And that still frightens them. Have you noticed? When you get close, they might take a deeper, more conscious breath. When you talk about the future, they might subtly change the subject. When you pull away, they often find a way to come back or reach out. It's as if their heart gently says, stay, while their mind, conditioned by the past, screams, run away. And in the middle of this internal war, there you are, with your pure, unconditional love, with your desire to build, with your presence that heals just by being there. And even if they don't say it out loud, they know. They know you're different, that you don't want to trap them, that you just want to walk side by side, respecting each other. But for someone used to running, simply walking calmly can already feel like a kind of prison. That's why they need time. Time to realize that you don't want to break down their defenses aggressively. You want to gently embrace their pieces. Time to understand that being vulnerable isn't weakness. It's a bridge to connection. And you, dear one, you need to remember that it's not your sole responsibility to save them, just to love them as wholly and authentically as you can, even if that, for now, also means protecting your own heart. Unseen helpers are watching over both of you. They are whispering courage into their heart and putting hope into yours. They know that love exists there. Real love. Love with deep, strong roots. And when they finally accept that they don't need to fight anymore, they will discover that loving you is exactly what they needed to find themselves again. Not everything that is true needs to be understood right away. Love sometimes needs more surrender than intellectual understanding. And now perhaps it's a time to accept that not all love starts perfectly ready-made, that not every answer comes quickly, that there are indeed beauties in waiting, yes, but most importantly, there is deep strength in staying true to your own path. You did what you could. You were present. You were light. You were a seed of possibility. And now, dear soul, it's time to trust in the eventual harvest, even if it hasn't shown visible signs yet. It said, "The love that is truly yours will not be lost. It will return. It may come through different paths. It may arrive in ways you never imagined. But if it is true, it will come back to you." Maybe they still need to lose themselves a little more to truly find themselves. Maybe they have to experience a few more misunderstandings until they fully understand that you have always been their place of peace. And that's okay, because love isn't about controlling time or outcomes. It's about keeping your heart open and soft, even when faced with long silence. You are not weak for feeling so much. You are incredibly strong for continuing to love lightly, with an open hand, even when everything around feels heavy. And now comes the most sacred part of this journey. Surrender, trust, letting go without closing the door of your heart. Unseen helpers are by your side, tenderly caring for your heart, touching your soul with the same gentleness with which you have touched theirs. They whisper, "You are not being left behind. You are being protected. Protected from what is not yet ready. Protected from new beginnings that would be incomplete or too soon." And as they walk toward their own healing, you continue to walk toward yourself, because the right love, when the divine time finally comes, will not be afraid. It will not hesitate. It will not run away. It will recognize your light instantly. It will honor your patient waiting. And it will find you beautifully whole, not because you stopped for them, but because you never stopped walking your own sacred path for yourself. A sacred passage reminds us, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. Receive this truth as a divine seal upon your heart. What is yours is coming in the right time, in the right way, with the kind of love you so richly deserve. And now, as we hold these truths close to our hearts, let us open ourselves to a moment of prayer. Let these words be a gentle embrace, a whisper from the heavens, seeking support, guidance, and peace for the journey you are on, and for the soul connected to yours. O divine source of all love, great mystery, and gentle angels who guide and protect, who whisper truths in the quiet of the heart, we come before you now with open spirits. We lift up this precious soul, who walks this path of deep connection and patient love. Grant them, we pray, unwavering strength to remain whole in their own beautiful light, to keep their inner flame burning brightly, even when the way feels long or the silence stretches. Pour upon them the sweet balm of divine patience, helping them to trust in the unfolding, in your perfect timing, which is never rushed, never late, but always precise. Fill their heart with an unshakable peace that surpasses all human understanding, a deep, quiet knowing that they are seen, cherished, and held by you and your heavenly messengers. Remind them gently, again and again, to nurture their own being, to honor their sacred worth. For in their wholeness, they become an even brighter beacon, not just for another, but for themselves and for the world. And for the soul they hold so tenderly in their heart, the one journeying through their own shadows and towards their own awakening, we ask for your tender healing touch. May your light gently dissolve their fears, untie the knots of past pains, and open the dusty windows of their heart so they may see clearly. Whisper courage into their spirit, O angels of the courage to face their truth, to embrace vulnerability, and to recognize the pure, unconditional love that awaits and mirrors their own divine essence. Awaken them softly, without shock but with gentle revelation, to the beauty of this sacred connection, to the safety found in true love, and to the spiritual home their soul has been seeking, perhaps without even knowing. Guide their steps, clear their confusion, and let them feel the profound pull towards healing and towards the love that is a divine gift. We trust in your divine orchestration, in the sacred plan that brought these souls together for purposes higher than they can yet fully perceive. May every step, every silence, every seeming detour be woven into the beautiful tapestry of your design, leading them both to deeper self-love and to a shared love that honors both their spirits. Let your light illuminate the path for both, clearing away misunderstandings and revealing the profound truth of what is meant to be, in your time and in your way. Bless this journey with grace, with understanding, and with the gentle, miraculous unfolding of hearts. May they both feel surrounded by legions of your loving angels, supporting them, comforting them, and guiding them ever onward. We offer our deepest gratitude for the love that already exists, for the healing that is courageously underway, and for the unwavering hope that shines eternal from your divine heart to theirs. May they both find their way, guided by your infinite love and wisdom, and may peace settle deeply within their souls, now and always. Amen. If these words have touched your heart, we ask you to think about supporting this channel. Your contributions allow us to continue sharing divine messages and blessings with people all over the world. Whether it's a super thanks of $10, $20, or any amount you feel called to give, every contribution helps us spread love and light, reaching those who need it most. We thank you for being part of this sacred journey, for allowing us to be a part of your path, and for helping us spread peace and love throughout the world. May God bless you with an abundance of love, peace, strength, and joy. Amen.